Hello, this is Reverend Bill, and tonight is the evening of Friday the 13th. So I hope we're all safe uh, and relaxing. Before I forget, if anyone likes this video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I can use the viewership. Um, anyway, tonight I want to discuss the outrageous money in sports. As I'm sure everyone knows, Juan Soto left the Yankees to go to the Mets for a 15-year contract. There's a whole bunch of little conditions, and we can up it up to like 800 million. I'm not going to get into that. It's basically worth 765 million with a $75 million signing bonus. That's pretty much the nuts and bolts there. And he's 26 years old, and yeah, there are ways of him making $55 million a year instead of 51 and getting it up to 800 million or something like that. And I don't care. I mean, that's to me, that's unreal money anyway. I can't even fathom it. And, that's fine. I mean, I don't begrudge it to him. Um, Also, last year, Otani, hope I don't butcher his name, Shohei Otani, signed with the Dodgers. He left the Angels. He did a $700 million contract at 30 years old. And again, I don't begrudge him either. Someone complained about the money that they were making when they heard about Juan Soto making 51 million. I don't know who the manager was. He didn't want them to use his name, but they complained that Juan Soto was getting 50 million, and he said, "Hey, look, they gave Judge Judy 47 million a year." And I think that's a valid point, by the way. I'm not saying that Juan Soto deserves it or anyone deserves that kind of money for hitting a ball, but I think he definitely brings a lot more value to the table than Judge Judy, who I've actually never watched, nor do I don't even think she's on the air anymore. If I'm not mistaken, I think she might have left over a contract dispute. Maybe she wanted to get more money or something. I don't know. Oh well. Anyway, the point I'm trying to get to is, so Soto's 26, and Otani is 30, and I'm sure there's going to be other ones coming close and eventually eclipsing this kind of money. And that's it. I mean, all they got to do now is kick back and relax. I mean, if they want to earn their money, great. That's ideal. I mean, certainly Aaron Judge has gone out there and I think he's pretty much shown that he's worth the money they paid for him. And I've got no doubt that Soto will go out. And I've already seen Otani give everything. So these guys seem like they're good investments, but I just don't think anyone's worth that amount of money. But apart from that, they don't have to do anything anymore. I mean, they actually can just kick back and relax. At most, all they have to do is hit a ball and field a ball now for the next, I don't know, 10 years maybe. I mean, I think Soto got a 15-year contract. I'm not sure those ever really extend the entire length of the contract. I think they plan on probably eating the last few years. At least that's how history has shown. But the point I'm trying to get to is these are just kids. And for the most part now, they're set for life. And I'm just kind of wondering, when baseball's over, what are they going to do? Is this all they want in life? Seriously? Is it at 26? Or to me, you're kind of a baby now. It's like, okay, that's it. You're all done now. What you going to do? Well, you go buy some cars. You can get a wife and maybe raise some children. But, that's pretty much it. Now, I have no problem with what they've done. This is a capitalist society, and I'm all for it. If you can get that kind of money, by all means. If anyone wants to give me $760 million, just let me know and I'll be there. I've got no issues with what they've done. I'm just wondering what is there left in life to live for? I mean, I was laid off a few times many years ago, and it was only for like a few months at a time. And I got to tell you, I was climbing the walls trying to find something to do. So I don't really know if at 26, being told now that that's pretty much it. You can go out and you can play baseball for a few more years, and then just enjoy it. It wouldn't go well with me. Let's put it that way. Um, in the past, we've seen players that have, by the way, I'm certainly not picking on any players in particular. Let me be very clear. If I was 26 years old and somebody gave me all that money, I would be completely out of control. So the people I'm talking about here, I'm not faulting them. I'm kind of faulting the system. I don't see how a young guy like that can handle it. I think a lot of these people are victims of their circumstances. I mean, Mike Tyson's a great example. He looks like he's really cleaned his act up. He seems to be a calmer guy. He seems to be mature, but he had some rough stretches when he was younger. And again, I would have too. If someone, when I was, what was he, 20 when he won the title? I think he was 20. But 20 years old, I was getting a boatload of money, and everyone telling me that, I was the baddest man on the planet, and all the women were throwing themselves at me. I would have been completely out of control. No doubt about it. I think most people would. Darryl Strawberry, same thing. He seemed to have cleaned his act up, but it was rough going at the beginning. Doc Gooden, I think these guys have actually done a lot of maturing, and but you heard things back then that weren't very, mature, good. And again, I don't blame them. Vin Baker is a well-known story. He came out to Boston for a while, trying to straighten himself out, and eventually he did, but not with the Celtics. He had to get out of the limelight before he could actually get his stuff together. And of course, the unfortunate Steve Howe. Eventually, I guess he died in a car crash. I don't know if there was anything involved in that other than just an unfortunate accident. But his history showed that he had some struggles. So I mean, it's just a really tough thing when you get a young guy and he gets all this money and all these fame and all these women and parties and fake friends, and they may try to keep themselves together, but it's tough. It's really tough. When I'm about a year older than Mike Tyson, and I wouldn't have been able to. I saw him in his heyday, and it was. I thought to myself, boy, I wouldn't be any better. I had my fun when I was younger. To be honest with you, I did. Not like these guys, but because I had limited funds and I had limited friends, and I hung around and we had a good time. We partied, and one by one, my friends started to, do the adult thing. They would go with their girlfriend and get married, and buy a house and raise children, and one at a time. There was a handful of us, and I won't lie, I was kind of a diehard. I would have taken it into my 30s if the fact is, if I had people that wanted to continue that lifestyle with me, but it didn't happen, and I ended up by being forced to do it because all my friends did it. So I had to, suck it up and get married and have children and get a mortgage and do the adult thing. But again, had I had unlimited funds and unlimited friends and unlimited women, and I had all these enablers, who knows what would have happened? It was just, the nature of limited funds that actually pushed me into adulthood and maturity. So I didn't have to go through what those guys went through. But who knows? If someone gave me $760 million who knows what would have happened. But anyway, I didn't. I got married, and I had a very respectable adult life. But I could have gone the other way if someone gave me 760 million. Um, and it's tough. When people get that kind of money, it's tough, I guess, to find something to keep yourself motivated. Now, I will say, Elon Musk seems to be a man, like him or not, okay, and I do a lot. He comes across as someone who does not sit back and rest on his laurels. I believe him when he says he's going to go to Mars. I really do believe him. And I don't say I believe him because I know it's an easy thing. I'm saying that because I know it's a very difficult thing. But I know this guy wants to do it. And I don't think anything's going to hold him back. He's going to go to Mars. I'm absolutely convinced of it. Another one is Donald Trump. He became president, and then he was not. And the country kind of turned on him, and he could have just basically said, screw you all, and head away, hitting everybody around him. But he decided that, no, I want to accomplish something else. Again, like him or dislike him, he didn't sit back and cry in his milk. He came back with a vengeance, and he became president again. And whether you like him or not, you got to admire the drive. And these are the guys that actually can have money and do find challenges, so that they're not going to parties all the time and going nuts. There was a really good movie that came out in 2011. At least I liked it. It was called The Descendants, and it had George Clooney in it, and Beau Bridges, and trying to think of her name, the girl from The Descendants, not The Descendants. The one that dated Aaron Rodgers. I forget her name. Anyway, regardless, it was a good movie. It was called The Descendants, and there was a great line in it. And it said, parents should give their children enough money to do something with their lives, but not enough to do nothing. And that's very good, actually. They should give their children enough money to do something, but not enough to do nothing. Because I think if you give children money to do nothing, they will do nothing. Anyway, that's just kind of a thought. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, when I was younger, I had a pretty good life. I didn't have a silver spoon in my mouth, that's for sure. But I mean, I went to a good school. I didn't really want for much. And when I got older, I wasn't given anything. I had to pretty much start from scratch. Lived in some bad areas. I know what it was like to miss a meal. And when I got older and made more money, I knew what it was like to have nothing, and then I knew what it was like to have, and it was pretty good to appreciate. Even now, I appreciate what I have because I remember what it was like not to have. Now, there was a good story here that I want to share with you. When I left my wife, my first marriage, I started dating again, and I was dating this woman, and I guess she couldn't have a babysitter or something. She couldn't get a babysitter. So I said, she had a 7-year-old son. I said, but bring him along. Yeah, bring him along. We can feed him. We'll take him to the restaurant with us. So I went to a steakhouse, one of these franchise steakhouses. I don't remember which one it was. And the waitress came over, and I said, can I have 2 adult menus and a child's menu? And the boy looked really confused. And the mother said, no, we'll get an adult menu, three adult menus. I said, adult menu? He's 7. And he said to me, I only have prime rib with extra au jour. That's a $30 steak. He's 7 years old. It's like, shouldn't he have chicken nuggets and French fries? Why am I paying for a $30 steak for a 7-year-old? Anyway, uh, that's typical of what I'm talking about. I remember when I had my first $30 steak, I was in seven. I might have been 37. I was in seven. I think people, they need to earn things a little bit. I mean, not terribly. But I mean, at least let's wait until you're, you know, a decent age to appreciate a $30 steak. Not giving it to someone who might actually be in first grade. I mean, unbelievable. Uh, I mean, getting back to my first point, I mean, even like musicians, when they make it big, their hits don't last long. If you want to stay on top, you got to continually pumping out the hits. You got to give the Rolling Stones a lot of credit for the fact they're still going out there and they're still making new music. Um, they're still challenging themselves. 60 years later? So they're not resting on. They could go around singing "Let's Spend the Night Together" if they wanted to, indefinitely. Yeah, they wouldn't get the kind of major revenue that they're getting. They wouldn't fill out all these stadiums, but there'd be enough to get a living out of that. But they don't. They keep on pumping out new music. I saw the video of them recently. I forget what it was. But anyway, the point is they're still putting out music, and it's still pretty decent. Um, so anyway, and one last thing. Michael Jordan, he at least tried baseball when his career basketball went as far as it could. He tried to do baseball. It didn't succeed, but he was trying to achieve something greater than just doing basketball. So that was pretty good. That was pretty good. And I'm just saying, like I said in closing, I don't fault these guys for the money, but it's hard for me to think of a 26-year-old guy that's got really nothing else to live for other than just to field a ball and hit a ball, and maybe buy some cars and get married and have children. That's usually something you do while you're doing something else. Anyway, all right. Well, that was my thoughts for today, Friday the 13th. Let me know if you liked it. If you disagree, agree. You got my information there in the bottom. And thanks for your time. Talk to you later.